This week, another batch of your emails were released by the State Department. One of them is a back and forth between you and a staffer about a secure fax that won't come through. And you directed him to, quote, turn into non-paper with no identifying heading and send non-secure. Aren't you ordering him to violate the laws on handling classified material there?
No, not at all. And as the State Department said just this week, that did not happen, and it never would have happened. Because that's just not the way I treated classified information. Headings are not classification notices, and so oftentimes we're trying to get the best information we can, and obviously what I'm asking for is whatever can be transmitted, if it doesn't come through secure, to be transmitted on the unclassified system. So no, there's nothing to that, like so much else that has been talked about in the last year.
So in no instance, what's striking about that particular email is it suggests you were very facile with how to do this process. You knew the instructions about how to get around the restrictions for sending classified information. So you're saying there was never an instance, any other instance in which you did that?
No, and it wasn't sent. So I think, this is another instance where what is common practice, namely, look, I need information. I had some points I had to make, and I was waiting for a secure fax that could give me the whole picture. But oftentimes, there's a lot of information that isn't at all classified. So whatever information can be appropriately transmitted, unclassified often was. That's true for every agency in the government and everybody who does business with the government. But the important point here is I had great confidence because I'd worked with Jake Sullivan for years. He is the most meticulous, careful person you could possibly do business with, and he knew exactly what was and wasn't appropriate. And in fact, as the State Department has said, there was no transmission of any classified information. So it's another effort by people looking for something to throw against the wall, as you said in the beginning of the program, to see what sticks. But there's no there.
Well, this one is a little different since the FBI is investigating this specific question of whether a classification was meddled with. Let me ask you about another email in this batch, which was one in which you seemed to express surprise that somebody emailed on their non-State Department personal email, which is what you were doing. Why was that a surprise to you?
Well, I emailed two people on their government accounts because I knew that all of that would be part of the government system. And indeed, the vast majority of all my emails are in the government system. So that's how I conducted the business. I was very clear about emailing anything having to do with business to people on their government accounts.